What is up, fight fans? Do we have an exciting episode for you guys? You know what? Let's start it the right way. Let's start it the right way. Huh? What you saying, boys?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, Dricus Duplessis did it.
Yes.
Fight fans, welcome to another episode of ForFightsSake. We welcome you, and like I said, we have a jam-packed show. We are so stoked to have a win under our belt. Gents, it feels like we won the championship.
Oh,
Ryan,
yeah.
Savant, what's up, fellas?
Yeah.
Yo, what's
Hey,
up?
what's up,
Exactly.
man? Hey, bro, I
It
think
feels like we won the championship, bro. It
it
feels
did,
like
bro.
we're
It
at
was
the finish.
amazing. I know, right? Because you know what? Robert Whitaker was really one of Dricus's toughest matchups in the division. And honestly, probably more so than the champ is, to be honest. Stylistically, that is. So, I mean, for him to get that win the way he did was just phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
word, bro. That's
Hey.
the word.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy because you guys were all talking second round knockout and I didn't see it happening.
Dude.
And it happened
Dude.
exactly
All right, so-
like that.
Oh, man.
I got one thing right. So I got the second round thing right, but the wrong guy. Yeah, I
Told
give
you.
it to Whitaker.
The wrong guy.
Yeah, give it to
yeah.
Whitaker.
Hey, bro, I
But
told
yeah,
you.
Dricus
told-
was smart.
Dude, I told
Was
you not
smart
to.
about it.
I told you not to doubt our boy, man. Yeah.
No, he did
Hey,
well.
yo,
Right.
and you could see it from the last minute or so of that first round. The tide turned, and then Dricus was in there. But I mean, his game plan was actually like it was very well thought out of, and I mean, you can actually see from some of the other people, big names in MMA today, actually talking about it as well. Like people were surprised that such a great game plan that no one else has figured out against Robert Whitaker coming out of our little South Africa.
What was the game plan, Ryan? Take us through that because I just genuinely saw a knockout. Like I didn't see any game plan to it. So tell me what did you
Yeah.
see that I didn't see?
Okay, so first off, so you have to know about Robert Whitaker. All of his fights, his stats look the same. Most of his strikes go to the head. If we talk percentage-wise, so it's always 60-70% to the head. Then it's always in the teens to 20s to the legs. It's always single digits to the body. All right, so if you watch, Dricus went out high guard, so most of the headshots were landing on the guard. Then, yeah, exactly. So I mean, look, when Dricus moved forward, he got his head popped back because that's just what happens. But all the times where Dricus is retreating, everything is landing on his guard. It's not landing on his head. So that alone helps him out because that's usually where Robert starts to piece people up and he starts to pull away from them because he just keeps landing, particularly that jab of his, which then leads me to the second point. Dricus had I would say a little bit of trouble with it. He was switching back and forth, but he was predominantly in a southpaw stance, which kills the jab. So the shot that Rob always uses to get his striking going is now not in the game anymore. And if you look, the only times he really lands it is when Dricus is in orthodox. So as soon as he switches to southpaw, that goes away, and then oddly enough, Dricus lands a big shot from that stance right as Rob opens up to throw that big looping hook on that side. He gets caught, dropped, and then we know how the rest of it went.
Yeah. And I think the blitz attack that Whitaker always throws got him in trouble this time.
Yeah, because
But he was caught jumping in.
Yeah, exactly. Because and Dricus caught him at the right time. It was as he was about to start moving in, he lands the shot. Had he thrown that shot a few seconds later, a second or two later, maybe it doesn't land as cleanly, and that fight goes longer than it did. You know, so I mean, yeah. Oh, and of course we have to talk about the ground game that we saw. Easy for Drick, First round, easy for Dricus to get back up to his feet, even though he's against the cage. It was kind of a bad spot, but he managed to get up. And then when he gets that takedown of his own, a head and arm throw, which, usually you don't.
That trip is so South African.
It is, right?
The headlock trip.
Yeah.
So South African. I was like, nah, that's from home.
Yeah.
That's the go-to in high school, bro.
I'm telling you, man. And, nowadays in the UFC, the only guys you really see throwing that are like the guys that come in with the judo background, which, to be fair, Dricus does have. He did judo at a younger age. I don't know how long he continued with it, but nonetheless, because usually the danger is you throw with that thing and then guys slip around the back and take your back from there. But he dealt with it quickly, climbed with his hips, dug in his overhook, and took top control and finished the round, raining down bombs on Rob. And I mean, that's a visual on Robert Whitaker I don't think we've ever seen before. So, I mean, that was an indicator definitely to me that Dricus has got this fight.
I hear you, bro, 100%. I think he put on a clinic out there. And now that you mentioned those little tactics, I see where you're going. I see what you're talking about. Very, very dope game planning and strategy from the camp, obviously. And also, shout out to Albert van Veek, who actually commented on our video and actually also predicted Dricus Duplessis in the second round. Well done to you, man. I need to start talking to you about my bets because these guys mislead me.
Dude, there's this thing that happens with South Africans. It's just like a big thing is happening, and you go into it and you just know we're gonna come out on top. Like our last World Cup, Rugby World Cup that we won, everyone went in that day knowing. We got this today, because all throughout out fight week, everyone I spoke to, so many people were telling me second round knockout, and I'm trying to be not as biased as I am, and I'm like, okay, but hey, it happened.
It was still a scary fight, nonetheless, bro. Scary fight. But I don't know, man. You keep saying that stylistically. He's a more of a competitor than Izzy. What? Okay, fine. We can say on the ground game he could possibly hold Izzy down, right? He has the strength to do that. But stand up, do you think he could possibly get a knockout from against Izzy as well? You think he'll pull a Pereira or he'll pull a Blachowicz?
Look, I think the smart money is you take Izzy down in the center of the cage, you hold him down there, you fuck him up until he gets to a point where he starts to get frantic and he starts doing things that you're not meant to be doing, and then Dricus will catch him with a submission in that sequence.
Now, my next question, gents, and this goes to both of you. Now, after the operation and all of that, did you guys see a better Dricus Duplessis cardio-wise?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That
100%.
pace. Yeah. Look, it didn't go the full fight, but the pace that he was pushing up until the finish, that was a high pace. So I mean, and unlike some of his other fights, where the pace has been pushed, like the Brad Tavares fight. That fight was mostly on the feet. It never really hit the mat. I think it hit the mat early in the first round, and they were there for like 30 seconds, and then that was it. But this fight, it was up and down, multiple takedowns, a lot of in and out. They moved around the cage a lot. So I think this is a good indication that his nose is definitely working great, and his cardio is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, did you see the same, bro?
Yeah.
I know this guy's biased, so I still need to ask
you. Yeah,
well,
the pace he pushed for real, man. I agree with Ryan. It was crazy, especially the first one was crazy, right? I mean, the second one was kind of, then he charged forward, he got him, hit him with a body shot, and he crumbled.
Ooh, that body shot.
That body shot was just nice, bro.
Ooh,
right
that landed flush.
Beautiful.
Flush. And that's what opened up that knockout.
Yep.
Yep. Beautiful stuff, gents. Beautiful stuff. I don't see his fight with Izzy happening this year though. Right?
Apparently they want to do it in was it Sydney?
Yeah.
So I mean that's what 8 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now, something like that.
293, right?
They've already planned Sydney out.
I think so.
Oh yeah.
I heard 293 somewhere.
Yeah, because I know they were talking to Dricus about having a quick turnaround to make that card.
But anyway, I'm onto other news that are like this is really, really sad for me, and I could see that it was sad for the guy when he had to announce this, and that's Jamahal Hill having to vacate his belt due to a ruptured Achilles, and apparently this happened during a basketball match. Really unfortunate. When he was talking about it, he said, "You know what? It's the right thing to do." Yuri Prohaska did the same thing when he had the title and he got the injury. Let other people fight for it. We know in the past there's been fighters that have held on and tried to hang on until they recover. So, look, we do realize that he's making a big sacrifice, and shout out to him for doing the right thing, I guess, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. And you know what? It's actually great to see some of these new age guys doing stuff like that. Because if you go back in the history of the UFC, the interim belt was actually invented because you had champions that were just holding on and not fighting. Like at the time, you had guys doing movies. I'm injured with this, I'm injured with that. There was always some sort of story. Tito Ortiz being one of those people. Not to point too many fingers. And so they invented an interim belt so that that there was something in the division happening until the champion got his shit together. And that's why the interim belts are around now. But if we can get to a point where this is what the champions are doing, like, look, I'm not in a position to defend, so I'll give up the belt for now.
Yeah, you know what? John Jones needs to come back and get his belt, bro. Ever since he left, that belt has been all over the place. Like it hasn't stayed in one place for more than 3 fights. I don't think anyone has.
But that's a good thing. That's a good thing, though.
Not necessarily, bro.
No, it's no.
We'd like to see someone hold it.
You need a dominant champion.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. The whole point is that you've got multiple guys going for it. Like, if you look, every single division gets stale when the champion is there too long. It happened with John Jones. It happened with Anderson Silva,
and Kamaru as well.
Usman as well. Like it starts getting stale, and then look, sure. Then when the title does change hands, it's super exciting and stuff, but it's just it's not exciting. So when you have these multiple changes in who's holding the title, it keeps the division going and rotating through.
Yeah, and what sucks for me about this one is it's not changing hands because the champions lost, right? Yuri didn't lose it from
Yeah.
a fight. Jamahal Hill didn't lose it from a fight. So,
And that's why their fight was so looked forward to, like, because
Yeah.
they both had to vacate the belt. They both had a taste of the belt, and now they're coming back to fight for the belt. So do you guys usually, when you come back, you do get a chance to fight for the belt, right?
Yeah.
You don't have
And I
to still
saw.
fight your way back up, right? Because that
No.
would be really
Yeah,
messed
I
up.
saw that Jamahal Hill did say that he was promised the immediate title fight when he does come back. And I think that was also the same for Yuri Prohaska as well. And that was part of the reason why that fight was being made in the first place.
It's pretty sad because it may not look like it, but Jamahal Hill has been really putting in the work in the gym, bro. Like that,
Yeah,
don't
look,
let that belly fool you, bro. Like that guy has been in the gym, and I know he's been looking forward to this fight. You know, from the days of "I'm coming for you" to where you at though? Where you at though?
Yeah. Look, I really do feel for that guy because
Big time, man, big time.
Achilles, that's a tough one to come back for. Did they say exactly how bad the injury was?
It just says ruptured Achilles, so that's
okay. Yeah, because I mean, obviously there's different stages of how bad that injury can get. The worst, obviously, being like a complete detachment, because that's a nightmare to come back from. So hopefully it's not too bad. He'll only be out for a few months, do some good rehab, and get back into it. Yeah.
Hey man, we wish him the best and a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
We do want to see that, and in the meantime, it's going to be a hellfest in the light division.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah, did you see they're talking about the winner of Jan versus Pereira maybe fighting Yuri? Yeah, I think Yuri was proposing that, because that could be interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Man.
Okay.
That could be good.
I'm already thinking Pereira against Yuri now.
Could you imagine if Pereira
there's no way Pereira's gonna beat Blachowicz, bro.
I don't know. Hey,
guys, there's no way that shit's happening. Well, Jan's gonna do exactly what he did to Izzy to Pereira.
Hold on. So two things on that. First of all, Pereira is much bigger than Izzy is,
but not as big as Jan.
Well, actually, I don't know. Hey, like
weight-wise,
apparently their walk-around weight was pretty similar. Yeah.
But still, the level of grappling and wrestling is unmatched.
This is true. But then also, Pereira is being coached by the last guy to beat Jan. So,
bro, no ways, guys. That doesn't count for shit, man. Look, if he had been training with him for years, guys, I still say Glover had weight over Jan. He was able to control Jan on the ground because he just had more weight on him, bro. Like you could see
that's a
it,
little
bro.
reduction, bro.
No, bro. Like for real.
No. I'll fight you on that, bro.
Come on, bro.
No,
guys,
it's a lot more than weight. It's a lot more.
Guys, okay, shut. Yes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking away from his technique and all of that and the ability to actually stay on top of the guy. Pause. But my point is, my point is, that guy was on top of Jan, and he was able to maintain that position with a guy that's renowned for that position. Do you understand? That's the same way Jan held Izzy throughout the whole match, and Glover was able to do that to him, which just makes me think that if there was a way for Jan to come on, and if he had that weight advantage over Glover, then he could have easily just gotten up. But he couldn't do that throughout the fight because why? Yes, ground control, but also, bro, he was top heavy. Heavy.
Which wrestler has Pereira fought?
That's the funny thing. He's fought none.
You see, and we could say that he was practicing his takedown defense and all of that shit. But, bro, I don't see him controlling Jan or being able to get up when Jan has him on the ground.
Yeah. Look, I think realistically for him, he would have to avoid going down in the first place.
And there is no way Jan is going to stand for that left hook. He's not going to do that.
No, he won't.
Izzy Izzy would have needed a few shots to knock out Jan, right? But Jan didn't even take that chance with Izzy, bro. There's
No.
That chance.
No, you're misremembering that fight, my man. Because they did stand for quite a while. They
tried to do an exchange.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm trying to say.
But there was more of the fight on the feet than there was on the ground.
Granted, but he was willing to do that with Izzy because he knew that with Izzy was going to throw a couple of shots before he could actually knock him out.
I don't know if that's fair to say.
But Izzy was coming from a lower division, bro. Technically, Jan had the power on Izzy. And yes, there is a one-shot knockout, no matter the division, whatever. But there was less of a chance of Izzy knocking out Jan in that match. And that's why Jan wanted to test himself with Izzy on the ground, like standing. But as soon as it got to a certain point, he took it to the ground. So what I'm saying is, he's not going to stay there and stand and try and trade with Pereira, knowing that with Pereira, all it takes is one shot.
Yeah, look, but I mean, to be fair, when Jan took Izzy down, that was just, all right, this is the easiest way to win with this guy. But if you look at when they were on the feet, Jan, from a technical perspective, Jan was holding his own and actually doing pretty well.
For sure.
And Polish power is a point of pride for the man. So, I mean, maybe with this fight being a potential number one contender eliminator, maybe that changes things. But I could very easily see Jan go in there and decide, all right, first few rounds, let's see who's got it, Polish power or Poetan. I could see it.
Mostly because Jan lost the fight recently, no?
No, it was a draw.
It was a draw. So
Goliath. That fight was mad, bro.
He's not trying. He's not trying at this point. Basically, if I was him, I wouldn't still be trying to prove a point, but trying to see who I can stand up with. Because right now you're trying to get to that title, which is vacant right now.
Yeah, but look, to be fair, if you were him, you also wouldn't be kicking Ankalaev's shins. So I mean, this is a.
So hold on. So what happens to Magomed in this case?
That's
because in my mind they should have run it back with Jan to get an actual winner from.
Yeah, look, they were not. They wanted a champion, and they weren't interested in waiting on anything. I mean, you heard Jamahal Hill saying that they called him about fighting for the title while Ankalaev and Jan were still in the cage. So I think that they were like, all right, here's your chance. It didn't go the way they want, so they were like, go away.
And if we're being honest, Jan deserves it a bit more, bro.
He was champion. Well, look, it's tough to say because Ankalaev was on quite the tear before that.
100%, but Jan didn't lose.
What do you mean? Yeah, but then
draw. You know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
but to be fair, but then you could say the same for Ankalaev.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying he was on a rematch.
Yeah, it should have been, but I think with Poetan going up, and like you said, maybe they want to feed Pereira something a little easier. Because Ankalaev would have ragdolled him without a doubt in my mind.
Ragdolled who?
Pereira.
You're right.
No, look, his striking is good enough to keep himself safe on the feet, but his wrestling is significantly better than most people. We saw the way that he was able to take down and control Jan and countless others before that.
So is it because Pereira was champion for like a minute that he gets a Jan fight?
Yeah.
No, because it's because he's Dana White's golden child, bro. We're gonna keep arguing this with Pereira through and through, bro. He just comes in and gets any fight that he wants, bro.
Well, yeah.
From the start, that Izzy fight was not deserved, right?
Yeah, look, it really wasn't.
But obviously, we all wanted to see it. I'm not gonna take that away from the UFC. We all wanted to see that, but this fight as well, bro. If you want to change divisions, I think the one way to go to a title fight is if you were a title holder in the previous division. That warrants you getting that. Not look. I don't know. When Volkanovski does it, he's doing it to become a double champ.
Yeah.
Pereira is just doing it to try and become champ in that division.
Yeah, but you gotta remember that he's coming into and this is still speculation. They haven't said it officially, but he is coming into a possible number one contender fight.
What does that mean?
Well, because it hasn't been said that fight will whoever wins that will fight Prohaska for the vacant title.
Yeah, but we all know that's exactly what.
Look, that would be the most exciting fight right now.
Yeah, look, what people want to see is that. But that's
the thing. But that's kind of the thing, because if we're being honest, there are a lot of guys that have gotten to fight for the title that really shouldn't have been. Yoel Romero being one specifically. I mean, how do you come directly off a loss and fight for a title? You know, like
because he was called out.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless, it's just like, how do you get a title fight after a loss?
Yeah, but also with
he got that
Romero,
title fight.
We could also argue that age wasn't on his side, right? Not like we don't know,
bro.
We didn't know then that this guy will be fighting way past that date. But
listen, bro, that dude is
fighting right now. What?
Yeah, no, we didn't. But at the time, it was
probably punching someone right now.
But at the time, it was a phenomenon, bro. Like, we had not seen a guy his age contest for a title shot. So
no. That, to be fair, that's not fair. DC was in his 40s when he won.
Yeah, but okay, sure.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Got you. Anyways, by the way, before we forget, I know we talked big about Dricus, but we also got to put some shine on our boy Cameron Simon.
Hey!
It's the first round finish, son.
Bro, South Africa was just showing off that day, man. I don't want to make it. I don't want to be that guy that talks countries and stuff like that. But you can't help
South
but be
Africa
proud of
was
our boys,
3-0 that day, bro.
It's good. Hey man, everyone's going on about how Cameron was kissing his coach before you went in the
match. Oh man, I don't even want to talk about that again, man, because you know what? It's a cultural thing. It's a sign of love and respect. It's not a sexual thing.
You guys need to let us be, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, let the Afrikaner
thing.
boys do what they want, man.
Look, it's uncommon for some of us as well to see, you know.
Yeah, no, it is. Look, to be fair, it's not like an everyday thing unless you're living in certain areas.
For sure.
But even then, I just found it weird.
We're South African, we know where it's coming from, right?
Yeah. By the way, you know, I actually found that weird that it was most of the American places talking shit about it. I was just like, but you guys are like the home of the LGBT people, bro. You're like the home of that place. Now, now you want to be the ones judging. Like, Hey,
man.
pick a team,
Yeah.
bro. You're just upset because our boy is winning.
It wasn't romantic, guys. That's all
No,
you need
that's
to know about it.
that's the main thing, bro. It's a show of love and respect.
Yeah, and
among
don't worry, we
among
won't kiss you
Afrikaans
if you
people.
visit South Africa. Don't worry.
Yeah, no. Well,
Gentlemen,
I don't know.
wanna-
Hey, I'm not kissing any dudes, but the ladies can get it if they want.
But yeah, gents, that's all from us. That was an action-packed episode.
Yeah.
We've got GSP threatening a return. I would have loved to see him in the cage again, but nonetheless, we have him back. We have him back. Our boy won. Q song. Okay, but also, gents, we got to have an action-packed episode where we covered a lot of stuff. Once again, thank you, gents. And more importantly, I don't really care about you guys, but the viewers. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into another episode. We appreciate you. We appreciate the comments. We love them. Like I said, all three of them. Hey, man, we see them. And shout out to the guys that got it right, got the predictions right. We see you.
Yeah.
Once again, guys, do the YouTube thing. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you got to do. But we're not stopping. We're going to bring you more episodes. Gentlemen, shout out for another episode.
Yeah.
Signing out. For Fight's sakes.